Members of the public could be given as much say as the union movement in choosing the Labour Party's candidates for federal elections. An internal review in the wake of last year's election has called for US-style primary ballots in pre-selection. But even as the idea was being floated, a senior cabinet minister was warning it could undermine the party membership and lead to Australian politics becoming too American. From Canberra, Kim Landers reports.
On election night, there was very little for Labor's true believers to cheer about. After a near-disastrous campaign plagued by leaks...
Of course I'm angry.
...distractions...
Okay, so we've got seats, we've got lighting...
...and disruptions...
Oh, you tell your people to lace it up.
Labor turned to three party elders to find out why it lost so many seats and barely clung to power. 6 months later, Steve Bracks, Bob Carr and John Faulkner have delivered a dose of introspection.
What we're releasing is a significant and profound proposal to really engage the Australian public.
Some big reforms are required now to ensure that the Labor Party grows and prospers.
Their big idea is to give the public a direct say in choosing Labor candidates in a US-style primary campaign. 20% of the vote would go to members of the public who aren't in the party. The rank and file would get 60%, while Labor's affiliated unions would have their clout cut to just 20% of the vote. The changes would only apply to lower house seats either not held by Labor or being vacated by one of its sitting members. But the idea of giving non-members a say in pre-selections is already hitting resistance in the government's most senior ranks.
I actually think it will completely devalue the role of the rank-and-file member of the Labor Party and will actually lead to an Americanisation of politics that I wouldn't support.
Labor's review also looked at the Rudd government's failings and what went wrong with Julia Gillard's campaign. Those parts are being kept secret but will be discussed by a meeting of the National Executive in April. But Labor's slide into minority government isn't all that bad. It's now clinched the last vote it needs to pass the flood levy through the lower house, thanks to Tasmanian independent Andrew Wilkie. That leaves one more vote to be found in the Senate. Kim Landers, ABC News, Canberra.